JDM Wavasumiape flag bearer menene mawa enye as regional chairman nkonye mauto agbavito mele JDM yo me gong alabemi ape chairman kle MP o promise very wanami 100% like Keta tami khonyama Madame Maglonami be Kata nemi support JDM kakokpe de wan nude journal Togo no be no dakwa otrina fli oda na ballot boss evedi no do boss agboa soja wa glona be dakona meyi alo twena mega ta on the 13th of May nu ya ogami le kwenye be twena mega nuka miawo mika bleka bekanya mega John Mahama bekanya mega Bakamia trainer mega desusumata miakata miana foji bla jijo bla pesepo bla hajiji akwa incoming president His Excellency John Mahama Choboy.
Thank you very much. Me and you. Akwe kaka. Bubuzela to medekuku. Thank you very much. The regional chairman, our dignitaries on the stage, former Speaker of Parliament, my friend and colleague, Honorable Sylvester Mensah, the convener of the John Mahama campaign, Professor Joshua Alabi, and all the other dignitaries here present, constituency executives, and especially branch executives, you're all welcome. Thank you very much. I'm here for a simple reason. And that reason is that on May 13th, we're going to hold the primaries to select the presidential candidate who will lead the NDC into the 2024 elections. I was here in 2019 and you gave me 98-point-something% of the votes. We are going to hold primaries again, and I know this time it's not going to be 98-point-something. It's going to be 99.9999999%. Because if it was any other time, we can afford to choose anybody. But the state in which Ghana is today, we cannot try again. We don't want Toby Dumpo. The last time they begged us, try me, and we tried it. Me don't call, earlier. This is where it has, This is where it has landed us. So at this critical juncture in Ghana's history, we need an experienced hand, somebody who's been there before, somebody who has done it before. We need experience, not experiment. We need experience, not experiment. And I was saying, and not jokingly, that we need somebody who knows the Flagstaff House already. From Independence Square, we're going straight to the Flagstaff House. Nobody has to show us the president's office because we know the president's office already. In 2016, despite the work that we had done, in the 4 years that we were in government, we borrowed 54 billion cedis. 54 billion cedis. By the time we left office in 2016, Ghana's debt was 120 billion. From independence till I left office, 120 billion. Everything that you see that we did during our period in office was with 54 billion. Electricity, water, schools, hospitals, airports, the new Tema port, interchanges, everything was with 54 billion. Somebody took over 120 billion. Today, the debt is almost 600 billion. More than 400 and something billion addition to the public debt. And I'm saying, if NDC was the party in government and had more than 400 billion, today Ghana will be like Dubai. And yet what do we see? Nothing. I mean, since NDC left in 2016, tell me what has happened here? Nothing. Only containers. And when you've not even started constructing a port, you have a port director, you have assistant port director, you have a technical director, you have harbor master. I mean, and all of them have Land Cruisers going and coming. But that's the hallmark of this government. Deception. And for them, it's always propaganda and lies. Always. And that's how they came with mouth-watering promises. They said they could manage the economy better than us. When we come, and it was only sloganeering. 1V, 1D, 1D, 1F, one child, one egg, one something, one something. That's all they do, sloganeering. And then, Ghana nyeo hiamai, yetisika so, come dear. Namuma ye kwai na ye ba, ye besi san yomma se nebe ya Ghana for you nave. That's all. Look at us today. We are broke. We are bankrupt. We can't pay our debts. And the worst one is the economic management team. Now people are running away. Now that the economy has collapsed, the solid team, those who were part of the solid team, people are washing their hands and saying they don't know anything about it. And yet, when Baumia was mentioning their names, they were sitting there and clapping. They were all happy. Professor Jambafo, Honorable Osafo Mafo, Kendo Foriata. What a solid team. Alan Tremantin. This is the solid team. Solid team here. They finished us, kwata. And the sad thing is, when you ask them, oh, it's because of Ukraine war. Ukraine-Russia war is because of COVID-19. COVID-19, Lafika. COVID-19, Lafika. During COVID-19, you got more money than any other West African country. IMF alone gave you $1 billion. Then they gave you a second time, $1 billion special drawing rights. IMF alone, $2 billion. Bank of Ghana, 10 billion cedis. Stabilization Fund, $275 million. World Bank, $930 million. African Development Bank, EU, Germany, all of them gave you money. So it was rather a windfall. And look at how they spent the 21 billion. For those of you who have followed parliamentary work and the Auditor General's report, the published Auditor General's report, you weep for Ghana. Never again should we as Ghanaians sit and let one president and his family come and take this country and make it end up the way they have. We should not allow it because of the future of our children and our children's children. Ghana does not belong to anybody. It belongs to all of us. And all of us have a stake in this country. And so the people of Ghana are looking up to us. They are crying to NDC because NDC is the viable alternative. They are crying to NDC to come and rescue them, and we dare not fail them. And that is why we must work hard in order that we win the elections of 2024. And that work is going to be done by you, because elections are won or lost at the polling station. The electoral process gives you the instruments to be able to police the poll. And we must admit it, that during the last election, and partly because of what happened, the COVID period, the lockdown, the restrictions, it was not possible to give our polling agents the kind of training that we needed to give them. Because by the time we started training our polling agents in late August, September, we could do only one wave of training before we went into the elections. This time we're going to do 5 waves of training. Everybody who is a polling agent will be trained 5 times and tested before you go and sit there. And as I've said, our selection of polling agents should not be on who came to the party first. It should be on who can sit there and make sure that the right thing is done. And so we need polling agents who can read figures, who can add figures, who can subtract, basic arithmetic. And so if you are the chairman or you are the secretary and you cannot do that, you have a child who can do it. You have a child who is in university. You have a child who is in technical university. Let him go and sit at the polling station for us. And so I'll beg that this time, let's choose the polling agents well. We will train them. We're going to bring them from time to locations. We'll train them on what we expect them to do at the polling stations so that they can make sure that the right thing is done. And I believe, by the grace of the Almighty, inshallah, that if the right thing is done in this election, NDC will emerge victorious in 2024. Again, let's talk about some of the issues that were raised. We know the problem with water in some of the communities here. And so we designed the Sogakope Lome water system. It was meant to take water from Sogakope, treat it, and pump it across to Lome. And all the communities along the routes of the water pipe were to receive clean drinking water. Before I left office, we were negotiating with the Togolese authorities on what the water rate they'll pay is. And so that's a project we are willing to revive. Indeed, we can revive it because it is a joint project between Togo and Ghana. And if we're able to do that, all our water-starved communities between here and Lome will be able to get enough fresh, clean drinking water. And as for infrastructure, I mean, everything we have here in Keta, we got in NDC time. Everything we have here, the infrastructure in our secondary school, electricity, everything, Keta C, defense wall, everything is NDC that does it. And yet, they come with propaganda and say, when NDC is, what did you get from NDC? You are committed to NDC. And they keep repeating. So our people sort of believe that when NDC come, we don't do anything. There's nothing here, from electricity to water to schools to hospital, everything that was ever done in MPP's time. It's all been done in NDC time. So let's give credit where it's due and say, yes, we've got some development from NDC, but we want more. And we will give you more. So we'll work together. The first thing and our priority should be to get Atiglinyi out of the Flagstaff house. Now, on the same day that we'll hold the presidential primary, we'll also hold the parliamentary primaries. We're choosing the flag bearer and we're also choosing our parliamentary candidate. I just want to remind that it is a contest within the NDC family. It is a brotherly contest. It's as if a chieftaincy title has come and one family is supposed to choose the chief. We all will contest for the title. If one of us gets it, then the whole family rallies around the person. So I want that campaign to be a decent one, no insults, because when we have finished and we have selected the parliamentary candidate, we all want to be able to rally behind the person. But if we conduct a dirty campaign, it will make it difficult for us to bring you all together again. So let's be decent and may the best person win. Now, finally, branch executives, this campaign is yours. I'm going to mobilize logistics. I will go on my knees and beg and find the money to buy T-shirts, motorcycles, bicycles, calendars. We did it for our Congress. We had to bring almost 9,000 people from across the country. It cost us millions of cedis. We went around, we saw people, we raised the financing for it. This time, even though we're in opposition, it's going to be easier because a lot of people's businesses have been collapsed. A lot of enterprising people, their bonds and securities have been taken by government. And so they say, look, President Mahama, anywhere I go, President Mahama, our businesses are collapsing. We need you to get NPP out of power. And so whatever resources we can mobilize, we will mobilize and use it to support you so that you can get them out of power. So I assure you, we'll bring the T-shirts, we'll bring the calendars, we'll bring the posters, we'll bring the bicycles, we'll bring the motorcycles, we'll bring the vehicles. But please, when those items come, please, 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 let them go to the branches. If I could do it myself, I'll come round and bring the resources to you branch by branch. Because that that is where the campaign is needed. In the branches, we need our branch executives to wear our beautiful NDC t-shirts and walk proudly in their communities. And walk proudly in their communities so that people will see that they belong to a proud party, the NDC. As for us, me, do you see me wearing a t-shirt? If I had a t-shirt, I'll remove it and give it to somebody. Because me, NDC is written on my forehead. Our constituency chairman, he doesn't need a t-shirt. Anywhere he goes, chairman the car, chairman one. Everybody knows you are chairman. You don't need to wear a t-shirt for them to know you are chairman. So let us let the resources go to the branches. There are several places. I went to one constituency, they were complaining. The chairman's wife had a t-shirt. He himself had a t-shirt. All his children had t-shirts. His father had a t-shirt. His mother had a t-shirt. I'm sure his girlfriend too had a t-shirt. And then branch executives had no t-shirts. They are going to win the election for us. And so we must give them the resources so that they can win the election for us. And so I just want to thank you for your support. I expect that May 13th, you will all come out massively because we need to send a signal to the NPP that we are united behind one person. 50% plus one would win the primaries. 60% will win the primaries. 70% will win the primaries. 80% will win the primaries. Even 90% will win the primaries. But to send a signal to the NPP that we are one solid team, and that when our flag bearer looks behind, his army is standing solidly behind him, then what we need to send that signal is 99.99999%. So I'll thank you very much and pray that God preserves your lives, because you have to live to see the NDC come back into power. May God prevent any premature death amongst all of us here. And what is the use of life without good health? May He give us good health too. So that on 7th January 2025, we will bring buses here and we'll carry you to Independence Square to see NDC coming back into power. I thank you very much. Mauna Irami Kata, Akre.